Good morning and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Richard and today I'll be walking you through the eWAY Business Centre. So today we're going to get a quick understanding of how the Business Centre works, some of the features that are available once you log in and the benefits that those features give you, and just get comfortable with the interface as a whole. So we'll be looking at the reporting tools, which are the real power behind the Business Centre, all the transactions that go through and how you can get all the payment data out of the system. Also be looking at the payment solutions that you can access through the Business Centre, charts and dashboards you can have access to, how to set up your account and different users on the Business Centre, and some additional tools and resources that you have access to as well. So let's jump straight in and have a look at the reports. So first thing we have to do is log into the Business Centre, which is simply accessed through the eWAY website. So you'll see on the top right here is the black login button. If we click on that, so you log in with your username and password. So it's all secure with your username and password, so only you have access to that. And we're logged in. So you can see that we've carried on the design from the front website, so it does look seamless when you log in, but you can see that those top tabs have changed, and we'll go through each tab as we go through this morning. On the front page we can see a few different banners here. So the first couple are just some notices. We've got a poll running at the moment, so we regularly have polls just to get some feedback from our merchants. So if you've got a chance, you can submit some feedback and help shape your eWAY experience. And we've also got a Google AdWords trial. We've signed an agreement with Google, so when you sign up you can actually get $75 worth of credit for your Google AdWords trial, and that's just to help you, I guess, get a foothold into the Google AdWords world, so you can get some ads up on Google, try and get some traffic to your website, and hopefully from there convert those into sales. So that's a good step up into that marketing world. We just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a graph of the last 30 days. So you can see here successful purchases versus failed purchases. So the idea here is we can get a good overview of how we've travelled for the last month. Obviously we want to try and replicate the peaks, so the really good days, and also try and figure out why we had poor days where the unsuccessful were up as well. We can also see the summary for the month, so purchases minus refunds to give us the total, but also see what we've missed out on, so which purchases haven't gone through. Down the bottom we've got the most recent transactions that are processed through the Business Centre, so the last 10 transactions will be displayed here. Generally when you log into the Business Centre you might be on the phone to a customer who's just put through a transaction and has a question or has a query. So you can quickly access the last 10 transactions to go through. Now up the top, as I said before, we've got all the different tabs to give you access to the different areas of the Business Centre. So we've tried to really silo all the different areas on the functionality that it provides. So rather than just having a flat menu, a bit of confusion like we had in the old Business Centre, we've really tried to order the information in the Business Centre by the function that it gives you. So let's go to the reporting tab. Now you'll see a few different icons here which are the different reports you can have access to. The main report that we'll work off is the transaction report. So we'll go there now. So you can see up the top we've got a search bar, underneath we've got a summary bar, and then underneath we have the results printout. Now in the search bar you can determine what time span you want to get the report for, so you might want to just look at today's transactions. Alternatively you might want to look at the last week, the last month, last 3 months being 90 days. So there's a lot of different canned time spans that you can choose from here. So let's look at this month in particular. Hit the search button and it will recalibrate the report to return the results for the last month. And as you can see, that changes the summary totals, and also we can see all the transaction results in the results page as well. Now, if you have a set time span that you want to put the report up for, so you might want to just get the last from the 9th to the 24th, so you can set your own custom time span as well. And once again, that will update the summary and the results that are returned in the transaction report as well. But let's make it for the last month, or this month. Okay, so you can see the summary. So once again, the purchases versus refunds total and the failed transactions. Underneath, we can see each individual transaction that was processed in that time span. So they're printed in chronological order, so from the most recent back, and it will be split by page. However, you can expand the number of results returned. So we've got 253 results, so let's go for a page size of 500. So they're all returned on the one page. Now, at the top of the results page, we can see a few different columns here, which are the standard columns that are returned for each report. So the date, time, the eWAY transaction number, which is a unique ID associated with each transaction, the amount that was processed, whether it was a purchase or a refund, the name of the card holder, and the result of the transaction, so successful or failed. Now, with these columns, you can actually sort or order by the results in the column. So we might want to see all failed transactions grouped together. So we drag that column heading over to the grey bar here. It's recalibrated so we can see all the failed transactions all at the top in one place, followed by all the successful transactions. So there's a lot of power there, a lot of ways to drill down on the information that you need. Also in the top search bar, we'll just reset that. You may want to search for an individual transaction or an individual customer. So you can simply type in the customer's name and it'll only return transactions associated with that customer. So rather than having to scroll through all the different transactions for that month, you can drill down on anything processed by that customer, which will save you a lot of time. Now you'll see on the individual transactions the actions bar to the left. So we'll go through each of the functions that you can access here. The first one is viewing the transaction details, which will give you further information on the transaction that was processed. So you can see all the details that were passed to the gateway, plus the information that was returned by the bank as well. Also in the actions bar or the actions drop down is the refund transaction. So you might have a customer who has put through an amount, but for some reason it needs to be refunded. So they might have returned the goods or the goods weren't shipped. So here you can do a refund. Now you can refund from any amount up to the original amount. So you can do a partial refund. So the original amount was for 10 cents. Let's do a refund for 5 cents. Confirm that. We've got a failed message. So for some reason that didn't go through. And we can see that failed result straight away at the top of the report. We can also try to charge the card again. So you might have a customer who has bought further goods off you, or the shipping price was more than you expected. So let's put another $1 through on that credit card. Confirm. And that's gone through successfully. So that means if you do have to put another transaction through for a customer, you don't have to go back to them and ask them for a credit card number. You've already got it stored within your reports. So that makes it quite easy. You can also resend the email receipt that goes to both the customer and yourself as the merchant. You can turn that one-off payment into a recurring payment. So you might want to place them on a membership schedule or a payment schedule. So you can easily turn that into a recurring payment schedule through that option there. or you can print the details for the transaction to your screen as well. So lots of different functionality there, basically giving all the tools you need to support your clients and look at your payments and action further items on them. Now we can also export those reports to both email and also to your machine. So the email report button up here, that will send an email to your email by default, but you might also want to send it to maybe your accounts person for them to have a look at. Set your own subject. And even put your own description in. So that's been set successfully. You might not want to email it, you might just want to export it to your local machine so you can work on it on your PC. So here you can export the report in a number of different formats, PDF, Word or rich text format, CSV or Excel. So let's export the PDF version. Okay, so we exported the Word format, but that will do. We'll show you how that looks. So you can see that the report's been returned in a Word doc, so you can then save that, send it on as needed. So lots of functionality there, and it gives you the information you need to make informed decisions about your business. So moving on the transaction or the reporting area, we've also got settlement reports. So the settlement reports are very similar to the transaction report. The only difference is it will tie in with the settlement time for your bank. So the banks generally settle at 6 p.m. each night. So we've recalibrated the reports to be from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. So the amount that you see settled to your bank account will be exactly what's returned in those settlement reports. You can also schedule automated reports to be sent via email. So rather than having to log into your business center each day and manually export them, we can send an email on a given time each day to a given email address. You can also set up custom reports. So by default, as you saw in the transaction report, the columns such as date, time, the card name, the amount, they'll always return in the same format. You might need a different format for your own report. So let's have a look at this report. And you can see we have all the usual format here, so all the normal columns here, but we've also added the email, the time, and the first name of the customer to the report as well. Now we can edit this at any time. So we might want to take out the first name and add in the, say, the response code from the bank. Save and view. And you can see now that additional column is added to the report. Now once again, you can export those, email those reports as before, and that will give you all the information you need based on the information that you've decided to view. So that's quite powerful, that feature. The last area in the reporting section is the dashboards. So the idea behind the dashboards is to give you a graphical representation of the reports that we're recording on your eWAY account. The transaction report does give a lot of information, but it's a flat page with data on each line. Doesn't really give you a really instant overview of how your business is performing. So the idea behind the dashboards is you can access that information really quickly and get a good snapshot of how your business is traveling. So here we can see a transaction comparison of one time span to another and how that compares. We can see monthly totals. So on this account we had a big September, but pretty much every other account's been fairly poor. So that might give you an idea of where you should really focus your energies. It might be that 1 month where you have a lot of people on staff, or you do your advertising to take advantage of that rush. The settlement comparison is fairly similar, so a time comparison of settlements and settlements processed in the last 30 days. So that's the reporting section, which is, like I said, the power, one of the main areas within the business center. It's where you'll spend a lot of time and you'll get a lot of information about your eWAY account and your online business in general, and hopefully you'll be able to make some informed decisions on how your business is traveling.